This podcast is brought to you by PNP Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at their two retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Not Rotail, retail. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Nintendo Pulse Podcast, episode number 49. Recording this on Thursday, June 6th, 2013, the week before E3, and when this industry as we know it decides to explode in awesomeness. And we got a special show for you this week. Normally it's a two-person show. We have Stephen Munn and myself, but this week we have a special guest, and we'd like to welcome him right now. Our special guest this week is Joe Fourhman. Joe, welcome, and thank you for joining us this week. I'm gonna have to turn off the music.
Saturday Night Live when you just show up like once.
Sorry,
actually,
you were almost inaudible because of my poor planning. So when I was turning down the sound, you were being turned down as well. So I apologize. I apologize, Joe. This will be the first of many mistakes that are sure to happen in this episode. So again, cool. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh boy, that was awesome. So, Joe, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about you and where they can find you online, just so if they want more Joe before you do the show and you've scared them all away, where can they get more Joe?
Right.
Where can they go for Joe?
It's best they make these decisions now before they get to know me. I am part of the podcast You Like the Worst Stuff. It's a weekly show about video games and pop culture, but really mainly video games. And we are presented by and found at ggsgamer.com, ggsgamer.com. And also the podcast is available on iTunes and Stitcher and Xbox Music Supermarket, whatever that's called.
They change it every week or two, so you can never figure it out.
I can't be bothered to know. But that's You Like the Worst Stuff, where we sort of just rag on each other's awful tastes in everything.
It is a fun show to listen to.
Thank you.
It is a very fun show. So, guys, go check it out. You Like the Worst Stuff. Go search for it on your phones of choice, whichever one you want to use.
Stephen was in the first episode of that, I think. Didn't you do the first one with us?
Yeah, I've done a few of the episodes.
Okay. More than one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Cool. I have a bad memory for those sorts of things.
You left a mark, Stephen, is what it is.
Apparently.
Yes.
Much like a fat guy in a pair of too small underpants.
Nice visual that we needed to start the show.
You're welcome.
Let's get into the show before it gets even worse. Just as we said at the start of the show, this podcast and all the shows on the network right now are being sponsored by PNP Games. They are a local retailer here in Winnipeg, but you don't have to be a Canadian. You don't have to eat back bacon and poutine and all that other fun stuff. You can get to their website anywhere in the world by going to pnpgames.com. They offer used games from pretty much every console generation and new games. So if you're looking for a video game, not like the one that Joe has in the background there, they don't sell full stand-up arcade cabinets.
What's that about?
Get
them in stock.
They take up a little bit of room, I hear, so they can't carry too many. But yeah, if you're looking for anything from all the way back to the NES, Atari 2600, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, you name it, they have it. They have a whole wide selection of games, some available online, other ones you can shoot them an email, see if they have it in stock, all at really good prices. Check them out, pnpgames.com, and we thank them for the support. All right, so you've listened to the show before, Joe.
Oh, yes.
So you know how it goes. So why don't we kick it off with you? Joe, what have you been playing?
Well, just tonight I started Game & Wario, which I've got in for review from Nintendo, which is it's more Nintendo Land.
Yes.
Oh, great.
With farts.
Yeah, sure. It's mini games. I like the Wario games. They've got a cool vibe, and I like the art, and Wario makes me laugh.
Right.
So I dig it. I'm all right with it. I've done about 3/4 of the initial single player stuff, just seeing how some of the games are. And I mean, the big one is the one that they've really pimped out the most, I think. The one where you're playing old WarioWare games while your mother is trying to catch you playing video games late at night. And that one is a lot of fun. A lot of the other ones so far have been pretty forgettable, as you might guess, with a minigame collection. But yeah, right now it's just sort of more Nintendo land, and I haven't done any multiplayer stuff yet with it. But the good news is that they already said that that's going to be $39.99.
Fine price points.
Which is a little bit easier to swallow.
It's a little
60.
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could go $19.99 and they'd probably sell a few more copies.
Yeah. I'd probably buy it at 20.
Yeah, and I haven't been able to test out the Miiverse drawing thing because they don't have the Miiverse connection up because it's not out yet.
Right.
But I think that might be a fun thing too. It's neat that Nintendo is trying to work that into the games. That might be a neat sign of things to come.
Right.
But the big thing I've been playing is Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Oh, your mic is being muted. That's the weirdest thing. It must be a weird Skype connection thing.
I said all those spoilers during that time you muted me too. I said a lot of really cool things.
Curses.
Yeah. Like the whole bit with Captain Picard that they do in the beginning, you're like, it's gonna blow your mind. It really is.
I can't wait.
Wait. He's not playing Picard, of course. I mean, it's just his voiceover. I mean,
right.
Sure. But everybody knows it's really him.
Right. You know. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of New Leafery. I think I've 30 hours into it already. I got to check my stats.
Are you allowed to say whether you like it or not, or that would?
Oh yeah. The review embargo lifted a couple days ago.
Okay.
And yes, it's very good.
I saw PNP Games. They posted a picture of a stack of these things. They're like, pre-order your copy now, and there's a stack of them, and it's just like, oh. Really? You're going to do that to me? You're going to show like 18 of them sitting on your desk and I can't buy it. Actually, I'm buying mine digitally because I want it always on my 3DS XL. But I kind of really want it now.
It releases at midnight, which is funny because none of the stores will be open. So everybody will download it. It'll take about 2 hours to download. So at about 2:30 in the morning, people will actually get to play Animal Crossing, and then it's 2:30 in the morning, and Animal Crossing, you can't do jack. So
yeah. Unless you monkey around with your time clock and then get yelled at.
That's for cheaters and dirty people.
Fair enough.
That is unacceptable.
Okay, that'll be your tagline. That should be a WAV file that everybody has on their phone, and if they cheat, they have to play that. It's going to be a rule.
Yeah, but they have added a lot of new stuff to it, mainly in terms of new stores and new stuff that you get to add to your village and sort of pick how you're going to differentiate your village from other players, which is cool. And live online chat with your friends, just like type chat.
Wow.
Which is pretty great.
Very rare that would ever exist in a Nintendo title.
Yeah, and once, you still have to go through the whole garbage of getting your friend code to your other person in the first place. You got to be friends with somebody.
Yep.
Then they've got to come to your town, and then you hit the best friend button or whatever they call it. And then at that point, once that person is online in Animal Crossing, you get a little alert that they are there and live. And if you want to chat with them, you can just go ahead and chat, which is pretty cool. You can sort of, hey, you got peaches in your town? Yes, come on over. That kind of stuff. It's nice.
Nice.
Yep, it's very good. Very good.
I'm really looking forward to that one. I cannot wait. So.
Yeah, everybody on my 3DS friend list is super psyched for this. So I think there's going to be a lot of town visiting going on once this comes out on my 3DS for sure.
Right.
And that's sort of the Nintendo stuff I've been doing. I mean, those are Animal Crossing takes up so much time.
I can understand. I can't wait. It's gonna end me. I took next week off. So I can play that as much as I want, which is great. So I'll be doing a lot of that next week.
Yeah, and your first week, once you open up the island, then there's almost always something you can do, which is nice. It takes a couple days to get to that point, but it used to be in Animal Crossing, you get to a certain point, you can't do anything else. The fruit's all sold, the stores are all closed. But once they've added the island, where it's always open and available for mini games and collecting things and making money, it's a great improvement.
Cool. Awesome. So beside Nintendo stuff, is there anything else you want to?
Playing The Last of Us. I just started that. That's good. But the review embargo opened on that this week too, and so
I hear it's getting many okay reviews.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's by Naughty Dog. It's the
Mm-hmm.
Uncharted guys. If you like that, if you like Tomb Raider, if you like Uncharted, you're gonna like The Last of Us. It's the same sort of thing, same style for sure.
Yeah, it's looking really good. 10 to 10s everywhere except for Polygon.
Yeah, which is cool, and I can see why.
Yeah, I totally understand it. I'm not reading any of the reviews right now because I don't want anything spoiled by accident. So I will read it after to either agree or disagree with Phil Kohler.
Wired also.
Wired.
The thing that I've caught already about it, and this really is not a spoiler, it's just video gaming in general, is that this is another one of those games that is so detailed and so dramatic and so like a movie. But when you take off your gas mask, the character still just kind of like shoves it into empty space behind them in the backpack.
Yeah, that's video gamey. All right. This is also a game that on PlayStation 3, they're trying their play while you download thing. So it releases at midnight, and you'll be able to play when the game's at 51% downloaded. So I'm eager to try that one out as well.
And the only other stuff I'm doing this week is the free stuff that showed up on Vita, Paint Park Plus, which is terrible, and Toro's Friend Network, which is really notable here on this show because it's Sony's stab at the 3DS Street Pass Plaza.
Right.
And it's interesting to see how two very different companies kind of try to tackle the same kind of thing. The one thing that Toro's Friend Network totally has over Street Pass is that you can actually friend the people that you meet in actual friend terms, not just friend inside the game. You know how in Street Pass, you can Street Pass everybody, but you can't get their friend code. You can't friend them. Right. But you can in Toro's Friend Network, which might actually be a bad thing because I'm now friends with all these just anime whack jobs that I have no idea who they are or what they, but I needed to be friends with them to win at Toro's Friend Network.
It's probably just as bad as the near feature, where people can friend you through the near feature. So I got a bunch of people in my neighborhood that are friending me, and it's just like, I don't know you. You're probably some 8-year-old child that I should not ever even address online because I have kids your age. That would all be bad.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because they're like your neighbors.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. So I will stay far, far, far away. Cool. Well, thanks, Joe. Steven,
Yes.
what you been doing? Are you playing Animal Crossing New Leaf as well? Am I the only one here that hasn't gotten to the new hotness?
No. I have my pre-order in at Amazon. I got to wait for that one to ship out, but I figure it'll probably ship. They usually, when it comes out on a Sunday, they'll usually ship it on Friday, so that I'll have it Monday, which is pretty good. But I have been playing some Animal Crossing Wild World. I popped my DS game back in there and got to see the pixels even larger.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Nice. It's
It's
like
not
playing with
pretty.
Light Bright is what
Yeah.
it turns into.
And you would think with the added horsepower, maybe you'd get better frame rate, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't really work that way.
Nice.
So it still runs at like 10 frames a second, and it's still really kind of gross looking. But it's Animal Crossing, and I spent about an hour weeding, and then I turned it off.
Nice.
Because I hadn't been in there for 6 months.
Are all the villagers skeletons and just kind of slumped over by their house? Anything like that?
They
Except for one
all
that has
left.
leprosy.
They all left. It looks like one of those websites where you see the old amusement park in Russia. Abandoned amusement park in Russia. So it's just like that. Everything's really rusty. Also, since I've been playing really, really terrible, ugly games this week, I decided to try some Castlevania for N64. It has a reputation for being one of the worst, if not the worst game in the series, despite getting very strong reviews when it first came out.
No one knew better at that time.
Yeah, I don't think really anybody knew. There was no Ocarina of Time to kind of standardize what these things are yet, I think. So what I did was I played that for a bit. I have an S-Video cable for my N64, so it was kind of a little easier to see, brighter. I have a big 32-inch CRT. And I got through, I have a strategy guide because, obviously I buy all that stuff. So I used the strategy guide and got to the end of the first stage, to the first boss. And the one of the problems with that game, I was going to say the problem, one of the problems with that game is the way the save points work. You use a save point and it stores everything, including the level of life you have. And you only get one life in the game. So I saved right before the last boss with only a small amount of health left.
Oh.
So now I have to beat that boss without getting hit at all.
Yikes.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Didn't video games used to be fun? So much fun.
Yeah, I think that was the generation before this one. So I was like, okay, I grew up on Mega Man. I grew up on the original Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way this game is going to get me on this. There's got to be. I'll do it a few dozen times, whatever I need to do, and I will ace this boss and I will get through without getting hit. I'm probably at about attempt 20.
No way.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it, and I think I will eventually do it. But it's very frustrating to know that I really can't withstand more than one hit from the boss. I mean, there's other enemies in the area. I don't know if either of you have played this game, but it's a giant skeleton that climbs up over a cliff, and it has a giant bone club, and it kind of comes up to you and tries to hit you with the club. But just as it's coming up over the cliff, two motorcycles on like World War II era motorcycles, two skeletons on motorcycles come from behind you. It's kind of an anachronism because that's like 100 years in the future.
Kinda.
But you kind of suspend some disbelief because you're so frustrated with the fact that you've already done this 15, 20 times. So that's where I am on that. Nimble Quest, I downloaded Nimble Quest yesterday and started playing that on my Android device.
Nice.
And it's fun.
Can you join crews or clans or whatever they call it across platform? Can you join an iOS clan on your Android version? Or group,
I don't know.
Or whatever. If you go to the arena, you can join a group of people in the arena. You should join VGPod. We do pretty well every single 2 days that the tournament runs. You'll get a bunch of free coins for just doing it. Tokens.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Tiny Tower.
Oh, that's right.
Tower?
Sorry, it's TOG, not VGPod. Thanks, Quacko.
Oh, okay.
Steven didn't sound convinced anyway.
I don't even know anymore.
I didn't know that this feature was in there. I'd only played for a few minutes. So.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
I played some more Tiny Tower. I'm I think 58 floors now, something like that.
I received a comment from one of the listeners that is totally addicted to Tiny Tower and thanks you profusely for that. Even though she was listening to the Nintendo show, she's like, "I found the perfect game to play. Thank you." So thanks, Steven.
She'll be cursing me in a few weeks when she can't stop playing it and the rest of her life is falling apart.
Yeah, her house looks just like your Animal Crossing that you went to.
Yes. Yeah, weeds sprouting up out of the carpet. Roaches dancing around.
Nice.
And Beautiful Joe Double Trouble, since I've been popping in all my old DS games that I already played to death. I figured I'd put that game in too because I've just been... I've kind of been on a Beautiful Joe kick. I picked up the PS2 version of Beautiful Joe, the original Beautiful Joe, because that port has more playable characters and some other stuff added to it. I may just leave that one on the shelf. I got a new copy of it for real cheap, but I still have to beat Beautiful Joe 2. I got to the final boss in that game on the GameCube and never quite could beat it after dozens of tries. And that's pretty much it. That's all I can think of that I've been playing this week.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing. I want to play Castlevania N64 again. I remember loving that game because it was just so terrible, and it was a lot of fun to die repeatedly and get frustrated jumping over pits and things. So I really need to pick up a copy of that for myself because that was a lot of fun. So thanks for sharing your pain. That makes me happy.
This is my modular Rumble pack.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I
plugged the memory card at the bottom.
The memory card at the bottom of the row. Oh, what a terrible idea that was.
2 little switches in the front.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, okay, let's get into what I've been playing. I've been making my way through Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D still. I'm on the end of the third part of the island, so I'm not destroying it as fast as possible, just enjoying my way through it, trying to get as many spelling out Kongs as I can and trying to pick up all the puzzle pieces and all that other stuff. Just having a lot of fun with it. I loved this game when I played it on the Wii, but I don't think I fully like destroyed the game. I think there was a lot of levels that I didn't actually even play. I went beat the game and didn't finish it as much as I could. I'm enjoying kind of exploring all the levels a little bit more, and the 3D is really well done. And the 3DS XL, I have a problem seeing the 3D just because the screen is bigger. There's usually like this little black bar that's kind of in the middle of the screen for whatever reason. I don't know if it's my glasses or just my crazy eyes or something. I don't know. And for some reason in this game, it's not as pronounced. I guess it's because of the how the background is a little bit darker than the foreground, so it's not as pronounced as normal. So I can actually play this whole game in 3D, and it's really well done. So really dig it. For $35, it was a really good purchase. I'm glad I picked it up.
And it is nice not having the Wii waggle controls.
Oh God, yeah. You move a little bit in your chair and you accidentally shake and roll off a cliff. It's like, oh yeah, that was awesome. Thanks, Nintendo. It's nice having all button presses is definitely a good thing, especially for the blowing and all that stuff. It's nice to be a little bit more precise about doing that type of stuff. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already. It is a lot of fun, and you have a few days before another great game comes out for your 3DS, so you might as well play this one. I've also been working my way slowly through The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages, still remembering. It's amazing how quickly a game that you haven't played in forever comes back to you, and you just remember sprites, and you remember locations and enemies and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun to go back through and experience this one again. I thought I had played the seasons, so I picked Ages first, and then I went and dug out my cartridges, and no, I actually played Ages. So now I'm replaying a game that I had already played when I wanted to play the other one first. So I'm a little bit pissed off at that, but I'm so far into the game right now that I'm just going to keep it. So I'm going to keep playing Oracle of Ages on my 3DS. Also downloaded a game called Tetris Axis, which is the Tetris game on the 3DS. I've been looking at this one for a while in stores, and it's always been like $30, and I think now it's dropped to $20, and it was like, I don't know, do I want to play another Tetris game? And then I was just trolling through the eShop, just looking for things, just browsing around one night. I couldn't sleep, and I saw that it's on the eShop for $9.99. You get the full game for $10 as a digital download. So I was like, damn right, downloaded really quick because it's a pretty small game because it's Tetris. Let's be real here. But it's really fun. It's like Tetris done 14 ways. It's like you're at some crazy tasting menu restaurant. There's normal Tetris. There's make the Tetris man climb a cliffy path that you're making to get items Tetris. There's fill in the blanks Tetris. There's like all sorts of really crazy things, and I'm having a ball with it actually. It's the perfect kind of pick up, play for a bit, put away, and it's even better than going back and playing the Game Boy original Tetris that I have on my 3DS, because I played that game so much as a kid that I think it's kind of making me crazy when I play it. Like the music's in my head and I'm just humming it throughout the day, so I might delete that one to prevent any sort of mental illness and actually play Tetris Axis, because it is a lot of fun and it's only $10, so it was definitely worth it for me.
It's so nice to see Nintendo doing sales.
I know. Like, what is
so
that?
Nice.
A full release of a game that has been out for a while and it's not full price. When you can buy it in stores for $10, $20 less. It is kind of amazing. I'm really glad they're doing that type of stuff. And besides my Nintendo stuff, I'm also playing Sleeping Dogs on my PlayStation 3. It's one of the free games on PlayStation Plus, finally getting to it. It is damn awesome, and I'm kind of sad that it took me so long to get into it and play it. I'm having such a ball with it. I'm looking forward to this month on PlayStation Plus when Saints Row the Third comes out, because I hadn't played that one either, and I just love PlayStation Plus. I wish Nintendo would do that, but then they couldn't sell you the same game for $5 or $10, so that'll never happen. But I'm really enjoying it on my PlayStation. And that's about it. So yeah, let's get into the rest of the show, guys. First up, we got a lot of communications back from you guys, the listeners. I love it. I love that you're interacting with us. We have forums as well. And we have a foreman as well, but we have forums as well. vgpodcast.com/forums. And you can interact with us there as well. I know a lot of the people that have been sending us emails and stuff have popped over to the forums. Fun place to hang out and chat with fellow gamers, so please do that. Our first is an email. It's from Anthony Banos, and it goes, hi guys at Nintendo Pulse. I was listening to your last podcast, and I got one of those Nyko power packs last week on Wednesday. And for me, it didn't work well at all. As soon as I plugged it in, To charge it, all the gamepad did was charge for about an hour, and then the charge light continued to just blink. And right then I knew something was wrong. So after 2 days of charging it, it was only halfway charged and then died in 10 minutes. So yeah, buyer beware. I returned it and picked up a copy of Wario's Orochi 3 Hyper. It's a fun 2-player game and supports online. For $30, it's worth it, and it's much better than my broken pad. I love the show, guys. Can't wait for the next one. So there you go, Steven. I know after the show you had said that you had actually managed to order a few of them.
Yes.
That may ship at some time in the future, maybe.
Yes.
So hopefully they will last more than 10 minutes and then die.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. It sounds like this guy just got a defective one.
Yeah, exactly. It's horrible. I hate that. So that was an email from Anthony. Thanks, Anthony. And then there was a comment on the show notes right around this exact same sort of idea. And this is from Blazed Inside, I think. It's not as long as it should be, but I think that's what it is. And he goes, and this is a comment on last week's show. A great podcast. I wanted to comment on the Nyko U-Boost. I did not like it and was waiting for the power pack for a long while, but was given the U-Boost for free because of the delay. The U-Boost is way better than you would think by just looking at it. It's really easy to take on and off, so there's no need to attach it. And unless you're low on battery, it really does not make any noticeable difference weight-wise or get in the way at all when you're playing with it on. You can charge it completely separate. So if you get a low battery, you just attach it and you're good to go. It's pretty nice. It solved my gamepad battery problems, and he also got the power pack as well. So now he has about 17 days of battery power, I think, if the math is right in my head. So thanks, Blaze, for sending that in. And that's if you guys remember last week, we were talking about the Nyko U-Boost. That's that crazy thing that has like a kickstand, and it has like spinners and like flashing lights and I think ribbons. It's a big thing. But apparently it's really good. So if I see one in stores, I might actually, I might want to pick it up. Oh yeah. So Steven in the chat room, Blaze in SD. That's Blaze D in South SD. That could be right too. I don't know. That's his name. Check him out. He's on the forums as well, and chatting and commenting and all that fun stuff as well. So thanks, Blaze, for sending that in. And if you're out there and you see a U-Boost, it's not as bad as you might think it is. It has all the bling that you might need for battery power. I don't know. If I see it, I might pick it up.
A couple of those at GameStop.
Yeah, I might have to go check out my local one and go to EB Games here locally and see if they have one in stock, because apparently no one online sells it, because it's one of those Nyko products that is very fringe, I guess, since WiiU isn't selling very well. So I'll have to poke around and see what's up. All right, so last but not least, we have a voicemail in, and this is Arcade Lion again, sending in another voicemail after his voicemail last week. So let's play that one.
Hey, Lloyd and Steven. This is Arcade Lion again. I just wanted to thank y'all for answering my voicemail last week. I know y'all have many voicemails to go through, but you decided to play mine, so I appreciate it. Actually, Arcade Lion is not my real name, but Arcade Lion is an anagram for my first name. So I want to thank my parents for giving me such an odd first name that I could rearrange the letters to make that online username. Just wanted to say that I do agree with y'all. I think I'll wait to get the Wii U just because many of the games I do want to play, like the new Super Smash Brothers and the new Mario Kart, won't be coming out to the fall. So I think I'll wait to get that. And then as far as the games I have on my Wii now, I have a few games, not too many, maybe like 5 or 10. So I wouldn't be too disappointed if I were to lose those games once I go to the Wii U. Many of the games I have on there are Super Nintendo and a few Nintendo 64 games. So, again, I don't mind rebuying them. Or if many of those games were to come on the 3DS, I'll just buy them on there. And just before I go, just wanted to say that right now I am too playing Donkey Kong Country Returns. That was one of the games I didn't play or buy on the Wii, but I'm really enjoying it on the 3DS. So that's all I had this week. Thanks.
Awesome. So thanks, Arcade Line, for sending that one in. And he's in the chat room. So thanks for showing up for the live show as well. And we played your voicemail. So thanks for sending that in. I'd wait. You never know what's going to happen at E3. I'm seeing a lot of flyers that are basically selling the Wii U right now. You buy it and you get a $50 gift card. kind of makes me think that there's going to be a price drop. There's also some news coming up in the show, which may or may not be news. It could be news and Nintendo's deflecting it. There's something happening. So at least wait till after E3. I mean, you only have a few more days really to wait before you pick up a Wii U. So thanks for sending in that voicemail. And I've been trying to work out what the anagram is and I can't figure it out. So that one's, I'm stumped. I am stumped. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. All right, well, if I can get my show notes up. All right, so here we go. Notable releases for this week. I guess the big one, obviously, is Animal Crossing New Leaf. Comes out on Sunday, $35. So nice and cheap. They're not gouging people. I thought this would be a $40 game for sure. Nintendo's being nice and pitying us and letting us save an extra $5 so we can go buy The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages with that extra $5 that's burning a hole in our pockets. So that's the big one for this week. Let's get into the news. First up, I do this every month because I like the free games that you get through Club Nintendo. So this month's Club Nintendo games, the first one, Super Mario Bros. 3, which is playable on the Wii. They also have F-Zero X playable on the Wii. Super Mario Bros. 3 is 150 coins, and F-Zero X is 200 coins. I may pick up Super Mario Bros. 3 just so I could rebuy it on my Wii U for the $1. So spend the coins and then buy it for $1 later. Might be something I might do. I don't know. On the Nintendo 3DS, we have Lincoln Launch for 150, and that is not like a Lincoln Logs simulator on your 3DS. It's just a really weird name for a game. And we also have Metroid 2, The Return of Samus, which is a really awesome game. And that one's available for 150 coins and playable on your 3DS. All right, guys, let's move on. So I threw this in the show notes and I forgot to mention it before we started, Foreman. So sorry to spring it on you.
Oh no!
I wanted to ask each of you guys if you had a E3 prediction that you think is going to happen, just something that maybe is a little bit weird or awesome, or you think it's for sure going to happen. Just want to throw it out there. So, Joe, any E3 thing that you think Nintendo is going to do?
Here it is.
Okay.
You've heard it here first. Retro is behind the new 3D Mario game. That's what they've been working on.
Interesting.
It's Retro.
That would be
They're
fun.
doing it, and that's going to be one of the big announcements, and it's going to be out this fall alongside Smash Brothers, Kart in the spring, and Zelda next fall.
Nice.
So
Steve,
the releases are easy, but Retro on Mario, that's gonna shock everybody.
that would be really shocking. But it would be good. I would like to see that happen. That would be kind of interesting to see. Steven, any E3 predictions that you want to throw out there?
Nintendo will be recalling all Wii U's, putting in always on DRM,
Yes.
jacking prices to all games to $80, retroactively charging everybody an additional $20 for any games they've already purchased.
Yeah.
Virtual
It's the way of
console
the
will be
future. They gotta get on
discontinued.
board.
What's that?
It's the way of the future. They got to get on board.
It is. Virtual console will be discontinued. Backwards compatibility will be removed from the console. And
You're right. You got it.
Retro is
Wow.
going to be making the next 3D Mario.
You hit the jackpot.
You heard that too?
Oh my goodness.
I knew it.
You guys have sources that I wish I had. That's amazing. Okay, cool. Yeah, you will not be trading games with your friends or buying used games or any of that stuff anymore because Nintendo also hates you, like all the other console
And if
console
Nintendo ever
manufacturers.
actually starts releasing games for the Wii U, you'll have to buy your own copy.
Yes, exactly. No more borrowing or staring at it through the window. You can't even look at the box art anymore. They charge you to do that
That's
now.
$5 right there.
Yeah. Crazy. That could happen, Steven. I'm kind of scared for your future. My E3 prediction isn't as like, oh my God, as you guys. No DRM, no cops coming to your house to look if you're playing used games on your console. I have a feeling that we're going to get another F-Zero game coming out this year. I don't know why.
Huh.
It's just been a while, and Nintendo's been releasing a lot of F-Zero as virtual console titles and other things like that. So it seems
Keeping
like
the brand in the public eye.
exactly. It seems like they're trying to kind of spike the punch a little bit with the F-Zero
So-
to get people a little bit excited.
So you're thinking, what was it, F-Zero GP Legend for GBA coming to Virtual Console? Is that what you're thinking?
No, I think a new photorealistic, too fast to even look at floating car racer with dirt and blowing up vehicles and stuff.
And
Okay.
they're going to call it Balloon Fight.
Yes, they will call it F Balloons. F the Balloons is what they're going to call it.
They'll call it F you all.
F you all. We're putting DRM on this bitch is what they're going to call it.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think F-Zero, it's been a long time since this franchise has been really rebooted, except in arcade. I mean, they've had a couple arcade releases. It's been a while. I don't know. We're getting a new kart, but maybe we'll get another F-Zero, another racing game. Maybe.
They should finally release F1.
Yes.
You call the new one F1 just to confuse it.
The new one, it will be called F0.5
Yes.
is what it will be, or F-Zero-U.
F1, and it's got planes in it.
And everyone could call it phone.
Yes. Exactly. All right, moving on. Just wanted to throw out a note. Nintendo put their E3 website up. So if you go to e3.nintendo.com, I believe is the website. I just want to verify that. And of course, my interwebs are slow. Damn you, interwebs. Yes, it is e3.nintendo.com. That's where they're going to post everything. So their Nintendo Directs, all of the screenshots, all that fun stuff. They usually have this little page where you can log in during E3 or during any of the big events and download images, box art, all that fun stuff. That's where you want to go. So come Nintendo Direct time, go to e3.nintendo.com, and all of your E3 love will be available on that website.
After you go to Best Buy.
After you go to Best Buy and wait in line for the small window that you can actually be in Best Buy to look at these demos.
Wait in line.
Small window? That's even more crazy.
Yeah, 4 hours. They're nuts.
They're absolutely
Just nuts.
asinine.
Or you could go to the Nintendo World Store and they're going to have it all day, all week.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
on.
that's true. If you can actually even get in, because they're remaking the Nintendo World Store to look like Animal Crossing New Leaf. So I don't know. Maybe they'll be tearing down all the shanties and other stuff during that time.
Well,
Yeah, fun stuff. You're closer to Nintendo World Store than I am, Steven, obviously being in Canada and not by New York. I love that place. I wish I could go more often. They always have fun things there. I would love to go to a launch there, especially during E3. That would be pretty damn interesting, I would think.
yeah, and it's shameful. That's actually less than 2 hours from me, and I've never been to the Nintendo World Store.
You should go to
Seriously?
the Animal Crossing party.
Yeah, do that. You could
They're giving out pins.
that you could sell
is
on
that?
eBay in a week for $25, like everybody does.
I'd keep them.
Yeah, and just think of all the street passes. You could finish every single puzzle. You
Oh,
wouldn't be looking
I'd
for
like
pieces.
to. The challenge is finding an opportunity to go
Sure.
down to the city by myself and find care for my daughter.
That
that's
is
the challenge.
the thing. Yes, definitely. I stayed. My hotel was like pretty much beside it, so it was fun to walk down
Oh, cool.
and do things. But yeah, I can see where that would be a problem. All right, moving on. Let's get to our next story. This week's been kind of interesting. There's been a few news reports about the WiiU Basic being discontinued. Nintendo recalling all basic bundles. Basically, they're recalling everything. And then Nintendo put out a story saying, we're not recalling anything. There's a current misperception about the Wii U hardware. To clarify, Nintendo is working with its retail partners to simply rebalance the stock. We're not recalling, we're rebalancing the stock.
We're taking the stock and we're burying it in Nevada.
The people that are filming
We're
the
clearing a space
documentary
as you speak.
Exactly. The people that are filming the documentary that are going to excavate all those ones, they're going to make a big hole. We're going to fill it with these 8 gigabyte consoles. That's all we're doing. Rebalancing it is what we're doing. So yeah, they're recalling all of the 8 gig consoles. They want them out of stores. There was a couple.
This isn't the kind of recall that like there's something wrong with the one you already bought.
Exactly.
It's not that kind of recall.
I think what the problem, well, there's probably a couple of problems. I think the biggest problem is when you go to Walmart and you try to buy a Wii U, there are maybe one black 32 gig bundle and the rest are all these piles of 8 gigs that no one wants. So Nintendo realizes that. And there was also the story last week that in Japan, Nintendo's releasing a white 32 gig. So maybe this is basically Nintendo saying, okay, we done screwed up. This is not a good idea. So let's recall these 8 gig ones. We'll re-release them. We'll just put a 32 gig in there. We'll put less stuff in the box and we'll sell it to you for the same price.
Can they do that? Will they like take all these and then just crack them open and
Yeah.
put the 32 gigs in?
It's just an SD card,
That's
a
a
very
fun
well
factory
hidden
to watch
SD
in
card
action.
somewhere. I'm sure Nintendo is pretty wily that way. No, yeah, I guess they could do that. They just pull out the board, put a new board in, and seal it back up, or go to Nevada and put them in a big hole. Like one or the other. They're both equally as viable options. Yeah. So I don't know, Steven, Joe, like, what do you think the reason for this is? Do you think maybe Nintendo's being smart and removing 2 SKUs and just having 1 SKU and maybe coming up with a price drop or something at E3? Or do you think this is just...
I would say it's to avoid brand confusion over the white one versus the black one. You know, that because if they still had those old white ones on the shelf, then here comes the new white one that they'll announce at E3. Then you've got, Grandma's way confused already when she goes to the aisle of video games.
Yeah.
I mean, the Skylanders alone, they just want to run away screaming. So
and now they split in half.
You can't have 2 different white models. It'll just way too confuse people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So get them out.
And this just in, breaking news, the Tony in the chat room is saying that ETU is confirmed fall 2013.
Oh, great.
They'll be excavated and made to
make
work.
E.T.'s head
Yes.
rise, you actually just lift the gamepad up in the air.
Exactly.
It's like you're holding E.T.'s head.
Yeah. And you don't actually pick up the little like Reese's Pieces in the game. You actually physically eat the Reese's Pieces, and the camera watches you do it, and that's what gives you the points. It's
I
great.
would do that.
It's great.
I would cheat and use M&Ms though.
Oh, see, it's not the Kinect.
You think it would know?
It's not the Kinect 2.
That good that it would know?
It's not the Kinect 2. So I doubt it, but you never know. Nintendo, they're tricky sometimes. Maybe there's like a vitality sensor built in there some way, and they know that you don't get happy enough because you're not eating Reese's Pieces, so they can figure it out that way. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I feel the same way. I think what they're doing is they don't want to have 2 separate models. They realize that 8 gig with nothing in it was stupid. What they're going to do is they're going to have white or black with everything, the same things in it, and they're going to drop the price by $50. So it's going to be $299 for everything. You get a game, you get a charger, you get the digital deluxe promotion or whatever the heck they want to call it, if they want to come up with a better name, because that is really stupid. It's all going to be in the box, and you buy the Wii U for $300 and you get that. Unless at E3, Microsoft says that their Xbox One is $299, and then Sony says, yeah, well, our PlayStation 4 is $279. Nintendo's going to go, crap, okay, this is $249. You can buy it today. But I really doubt that the other 2 consoles are going to be priced at that point.
Nintendo has a history of ignoring the price points of the other consoles.
Yeah, but they also usually don't take a kicking as bad as they are on the Wii U. Even the GameCube, which didn't sell well, sold well at the start.
Well, this is true, but what I mean is that the price points for the 2 consoles haven't even been announced yet.
Right.
I accept that Nintendo may be recalling the basics to turn them into white deluxes and dropping the price to $300, but I think it would be far more of a response to the lack of sales of the console than it would be to a price point that the other consoles have.
Right.
Because I fully expect one of the Xbox One SKUs to be below $300. The one where you get the contract like a cell phone.
Yeah,
is probably
$12 a month for your Xbox Live, which pays off your console.
It'd be like $80.
Yeah. So it'll probably be like, I'm thinking like $200 or $250 for the Xbox One at that point, and then they own you for 4 years. Yeah.
And they know if you're there playing the system because they can see you and listen to you while you do it. And if you're plotting in a second room saying, I got to screw this Microsoft thing, I got to get out of this, they send someone to your house because they're listening.
They do.
Microsoft.
They've been known to doing that.
Yeah. They send the Tony out to
they do. And they don't call him the Tony for no reason. He's not a Tony.
No, he's the Tony.
He is a Tony, but he's not just a Tony. He's the Tony. Yeah. Now he's typing. I can see his name is red in the chat. He's furiously typing. They're talking about me. I must say something to capitalize on the attention.
Yeah,
it's true. A and the. How disappointing. How anticlimactic. Come on.
I expected better. I'm not gonna name drop your name anymore, Tony. That's it.
You're an admin in this group, right, Lloyd? Can't you change his name to A Tony?
No, I couldn't. Actually.
Just another Tony?
No, just plain old Tony will be what it is. So another question: if they do drop the price, if they say that your $350 Wii U is now $299 or $279, do you think we get another badge that we can stare at that really does nothing else, that will just sit on our home screen that has like text scrolling on the bottom?
The ambassador program?
Yeah, like the ambassador program. Are we going to get like an ambassador program for the Wii U with a badge, and maybe they'll throw in some, I don't know, like Game and Watch games or something.
The 3DS Ambassador program was so generous, really.
It was extremely
you got
generous.
so many games.
Mm-hmm.
An $80 price drop
Yep.
or lots of really cool games.
Mm-hmm.
That's such
That
a
was
terrible
super.
precedent, though.
It is.
Don't ever buying anything because in 4 months you're going to get all this incredible bonus stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
It'll be like the equivalent of like one game. You'll get Little Inferno. 5 months.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
They'll give you Game and Wario because it's not going to sell as well as Nintendo is hoping. So they'll just give it to you. Yeah, here, take it. He
That'd be
farts.
pretty
He
cool.
farts. It's funny.
That'd be great.
Take it. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it actually.
He's like the Mario, but he wears yellow and he's fatter and he's got the zigzaggy mustache. The kids love him. It's
He
crazy.
wants money.
He wants money. See, he doesn't want the coins. He doesn't want the mushrooms. He wants the money. He wants the real money.
I could see them doing that. That would be fun. I would enjoy that. Yeah, I'd like to have another badge. Another ambassador program would be great. But yeah, I wonder if people are not buying the Wii U because they anticipate this happening because they got fat piles of free games with their 3DS. And maybe they're waiting for the Wii U to do the same thing.
Sure. They're holding out on all those amazing games that came out for Wii U and all that amazing functionality that was built right in on day one that we didn't have to spend 2 hours downloading and installing.
Every Nintendo game ever has already been released in a Wii U form. So what are they waiting for except for this price drop, Steven?
That amazing pack-in
Yes, exactly.
mini game collection that I haven't played in months.
Like it would concern me if Nintendo starts throwing around big piles of games, but they're already releasing games for 30 cents, which is like stupid. Got to buy every single game that they release type price point. So
Even
maybe
the ones I hate.
Oh yeah, like I said last week, I would buy like Donkey Kong Math for 30 cents just because it's 30 cents.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Yep. Right on.
Yeah, that's like a preemptive ambassador program that they threw out there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so the new ambassador program is just they remind us they've already done it.
We already gave you lots of games for 30 cents. What are you greedy? What do you want
By
more?
the way, ingrates,
We're
you
losing
got
money.
Balloon Fight for 30 cents.
Did you see how deeply we bowed when we apologized for all the problems here? Like, what else do you want from us? 30 cent games. That's a lot. Yeah,
Everyone gets free white gloves.
Oh, I was thinking about the gloves. You're too quick.
That's awesome. That would be great.
Got to turn these gloves into a joke, and I got to beat Foreman to it. And then there he was.
That
Foreman.
wily one. All right, moving on. Some good news this week. We heard that Mutant Mudds Deluxe for the Wii U coming on June 13th. So soon, very soon. In fact, next week, if my maths is good. And they've also announced the price point, $10. So I will buy this because I love Mutant Mudds on my 3DS, and I also loved it on iOS, and I want to play the game for a third time. Very Nintendo-like to do that on a Nintendo platform, re-release the game over and over and over again. So, any of you guys excited for Mutant Mudds on the eShop on your Wii U?
Haven't played it.
Not especially.
No, it's fun, and I want it for off-screen play. I want it on the big tablet. And so I could play it while my kids are watching Dora or whatever. That would be a lot of fun to have because it's a fun platformer, super twitchy. It's very punishing, but in the best possible way.
I wish that screen was higher resolution, the one on the controller.
Yeah, and I wish it would multi-touch. But there's a lot of wishes for that particular peripheral.
Wait 8 years and you'll get them.
Yes, exactly. It'll be the Wii U, and people will still be confused.
No, he's got multi-touch.
Exactly. Yeah, and people in Best Buy will still be confused at what they're actually buying and what they need to buy. We already have one of these at home. What are you talking about? I bowl on it every day. They'll be really confused. All right. Last but not least, we got some Smash Brothers news. We had the lead developer tweeted out that they're going to be showing a video at E3. So we knew it was going to be talked about, but now we know there'll be a video. So it's not just going to be the name. They're not just going to say, and Smash Brothers.
Here's the logo.
All right. Here's My Little Pony Playhouse 3D. It'll be a real game. So what do you guys think? Are you excited that the developer is tweeting that, hey, we're showing a video? Or do you think they kind of have to do that?
The original story that I saw about this was not the one on Kotaku, but I couldn't find the first one I read. The first one that I read translated the tweet as saying image instead of saying video, and clarified underneath that the word that he used there could be interpreted as meaning either images or video. So I'm guessing it's whatever it means, like art assets or something like that. You know what I mean? Something that was kind of ambiguous.
Or logo,
so we may just
or
see
color
screenshots.
wheel, or pen.
Just a picture of Pikachu. That's
Concept art.
Like Smash Brothers Pikachu.
Concept art.
Nice.
And there's people who are thinking that this
Kirby. There you go.
This Sega pairing may mean that it's going to be a Sega joint as well. And there'll be Sega characters and Nintendo characters mashed up together.
Wow.
That could be an interesting
all
idea.
the crazy furry animals to talk. I can't wait.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, not really.
But,
I mean, yeah, Sonic would be fun again, but
yeah.
What else does Sega have really that would be fun in Smash Brothers?
I'm sure there's plenty, but like I just don't want Sega taking over Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
A couple cameo and a level is nice, but like if they do one of those deals where it's like Marvel versus Capcom and it's Nintendo versus Sega and it's a split roster half and half.
Vector Man, yeah. Tony said I dropped his name again. I said I wasn't going to do that. Plain old Tony. Vector Man would be fun. That would be fun. Yeah, I guess. And yeah, maybe they'll do backgrounds like PlayStation All Stars, where the backgrounds are a little bit more interactive. So yeah, Comic Zone would be really fun from S-Log or Slog or S-Slog, however you want to pronounce it. That would be fun. Like the drawing in the panels as you're going around. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see more characters in this game. Every rumor that I've heard is that there's going to be less characters.
I think they pretty much said as much on the E3 stage last year, maybe the year before. Like
they could always go back on that, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, Smash Brothers Brawl was great. Like so many characters, so many unlocks. It was fun. When you unlocked a new character, you were excited.
Yeah, I'll take a delay if it means they're going to double the roster.
Sure, totally. I would love that. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a few days away. I mean, we're recording this on Thursday. They're going to be doing their presentation on the Monday. So I don't know. I mean, there's some good stuff that could come out of this. But yeah, as you said, Steven, with the ambiguous nature of the tweets, it's either a motion video or images that are moving or images or something. I don't know what they're going to show. I mean,
something we can look at.
Yeah, exactly. Like the E3 before Smash Brothers Brawl launched, they actually had a separate session where they invited all these people to play the game, and it was this big thing. And you heard Joystick talk about it, and OneUp.com, and all these other websites that existed at the time were talking about how great the game was. I hope they treat this game with that same level of respect, because I think this has the potential to be a really big thing for the Wii U. Getting this game out so that it's used in tournaments again, like Smash Brothers still is. If it's of that same quality, this could push people to buy the console. One game could make a difference. Any game.
It's one of the big four. Nintendo has the four big games: Mario, Zelda, Smash, and Kart, that are always massive sellers, long tails. They never stop selling. And this is it. We're starting to get them.
So I'm really hopeful. I'm to the point of holding my breath for awesome news. I really hope that they knock it out of the park. With the Nintendo Directs that have come out lately, I'm not super convinced. I wouldn't bet money on it, but we'll see what happens. I mean,
did you guys see that? I don't know if it was the same Smash developer that was tweeting, but was just getting snippy with the people that were bugging him about who's going to be in the game. He was just straight up just telling people off.
Oh, that's awesome.
He keeps getting tweeted, is Bayonetta in Smash? And he's just sick
that
of it.
was Hideki Kamiya from Platinum Games, the developer of Bayonetta 2.
Right.
People keep asking him on Twitter if Bayonetta's going to be in Smash Brothers, and he's he just flipped his lid. He's like, enough of the Smash, idiots.
Wow. That's awesome.
And a lot of people seem to have interpreted it as him saying that Smash Brothers is bad or something. And they're all like, yeah, I hate Smash Brothers too, just like you, cool man. It's like, oh, you kids.
Wow. That is awesome. Yeah.
Take away their Twitter.
Exactly. Yeah. You always love when people get upset online when there's stuff, because it could either just be they're really pissed off at the world and they're going to do something totally insane during E3. Like they're going to get drunk at a party and punch a dude, or they're really upset because it's actually happening and they're really worried that it's going to blow their E3 presentation. So it makes for a good story either way. I'd like to see him punch a dude personally, but we'll see what happens at E3.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's going to about do it for this episode, guys. Joe, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, you're quite welcome. Thanks for having me. It was a good time.
It was a lot of fun. Again, where can people find you online?
Well, my Twitter account is at Fourhman, Fourhman. And as I said at the start of the show, we do a podcast called You Like the Worst Stuff that is available in iTunes and ggsgamer.com, where we talk video games and other pop culture things depending on what's hot that week. But that's where you guys can find me. So if I was at all entertaining, please follow. And maybe I'll come back again someday with you guys and grimace when Steven talks about Castlevania on N64 again.
Yes, we guarantee it. That's going to happen. Definitely. we got to do a show that's all Castlevania N64, and then we'll have you back, Joe.
I got my grimace ready.
Nice.
We could put the music in. That would be okay. It's probably the best part of the game.
Yeah.
Very, very good music in that game.
Yeah, I could see that happening. That would be a lot of fun. All right, well, I don't have any Castlevania music, unfortunately, but let's put some Donkey Kong Country on again.
I've got some.
Do you? Can you play it? No, you can't play it on your end. Actually, I do have stuff, but it's in another window, so I can't play it right now. Yeah. So we'll do this. We'll play some Donkey Kong music. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for yet another fun episode of the Nintendo Pulse. It's episode number 49. We love to hear from you. Head on over to vgpodcast.com. Let us know what you think. Email us directly at vgpodcasts@gmail.com or call our voicemail line, which is area code 505-VG-Podcasts. Doing any of the above or dancing crazy like everybody on the video right now, we could get you onto the next episode of the show. Send us an email, voicemail, whatever. We want to hear from you guys and dancing Kirby dolls and all that fun stuff. So thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.